bottom. Hey guys,
Hi, Lou.
you're here for the tour?
Yes,
You were
sir.
in the right place at the right time. Welcome. Because we are interested in biodynamic farming and permaculture. Here's the ocean view and a feeling of spaciousness and the big open sky that we get here on the North Shore of Maui. And it's beautiful to be able to host all kinds of events here as people come through on our tour. We also are able to offer some entertainment, which is really great. So we're going to take a walk around the farm, and I'm going to show you some of the whole systems that we have in place. The idea is to create things that kind of balance each other out so that we don't have to keep adding too much from the outside. Hello sisters, you are so much on time and in the right spot. Let's just walk straight back this way. Even with organic farming, some of the approved amendments are animal products like feather meal, bone meal, and blood meal, byproducts of the meat industry. And we can grow healthy food without needing to be a part of the suffering of animals. So that's part of our value system. Come on over this way and I'll show you an overview. Hey Dave, you gonna come on this farm tour?
Yes, I am.
All right. This is already decomposed back into the ground, but you'll see other places we have this. You can look across, thick layer of wood chips and maybe some vetiver grass, which I'll show you a bit about. And it has that in the tropics. It's important because you want an environment around the roots of the trees that can encourage insects and worms and microorganisms. So it has to be moist and dark. The UV rays coming from the tropical sun will kill the microorganisms in the topsoil, in that top layer. So you don't really want to have a lot of exposed soil in general in the tropics and subtropics. Everything is best mulched. And for creating a whole ecosystem and moisture there at the base of the tree, and to prevent the grass from taking over. There's different kinds of grass here. One of them called wiregrass that will just grow right up a tree and cover it completely. If you're not there weed whacking or using a sickle and keeping it back, it can be very challenging. So having a thick layer of mulch, which we inoculate with indigenous microorganisms. This is a natural farming technique that came out of Korea, Master Cho, Korean natural farming. It's all about cultivating the naturally occurring microorganisms that just like live in the forest here. They stick a basket of rice out there and let it get moldy basically, and then you harvest those microorganisms and grow them out into a solution that you can spray on plants. And they're beneficial microorganisms that kind of coat the leaves and retard a lot of the pests and help the plant grow. It's foliar feeding and preventing attack from pests. So that's a really cool thing to check out, Korean natural farming. It has much more to it. And they do have elements where they ferment fish and roast bones. And there's different amendments that they choose to use that we're not doing because of our veganic attitude. Thinking ahead and getting windbreaks in is a longer term prospect because you can't build a fence tall enough to really make a difference. Turns out that the windbreak lasts about twice as wide as it is tall. So if you got 25 feet of bamboo, you get maybe a 50-foot area that you can plant in that will be protected from the wind before the wind swoops back down. So what you really need are rows of windbreaks over larger pieces of land. And bamboo works well here. It's pretty much the fastest growing plant on the planet. And it grows densely. It doesn't take too many nutrients. Once you get it started, you don't have to take care of it that much. It drops its own leaves and kind of creates a weed barrier around it. Now we need to make another windbreak on the leeward side of this field so that we can plant the next field over. So that's what's happening here. And that berm is made up of cane grass that we scraped off of this field and did something similar, putting the pond water on and let it compost down, added worms. It became the worm habitat, and then we can bait the worms out into our rows by adding the green matter and the mulch on top of it. I'll show you. So we can walk up. This is our nursery for lemongrass. Lemongrass is one of our main ingredients in the tea. Our friend helped us make some labels on our tea packages today. So we're going to transplant these clumps out, and they'll grow each one of them into a large clump. So it's kind of a nursery. This is some purple sweet potato. We got different kinds of basil here, and this is some remaining little baby taro. We've harvested hundreds of pounds of taro out of that on. And then we did this earthwork. You're standing on a berm. You see this J-shaped earthen ridge? We brought in that dirt. We actually shaped it so that when water comes down the hill, it gets caught in the nook of that J. And we have a higher water table here, and the water doesn't get wasted going out into the road. So that's one of the things that they do with permaculture is they see how water moves and actually change the earthworks, create berms or swales to direct water where you want it. Those are catfish, yeah. Oh, God.
Are those big for catfish?
They can grow bigger. They can grow to be like over 80 pounds. It depends mostly on the size of the body of water. Like in some of the big rivers, like Mississippi River, they can grow.
That's a staple food in some places.
Yeah, they're actually good, you know. I do eat fish, but I've kind of stopped eating the ocean fish since Fukushima. There's been so many thousands of gallons of radioactive water dumped into the ocean. No one really knows what the impact of that is. We know that it's kind of diffusing through the Pacific. So we stay away from the bigger pelagic species like ahi and mahi just to minimize the likelihood of getting a hot particle. But this is one alternative. Grow your own fish. You know what you're feeding it. I mean, it's not likely to be too radioactive unless there's a radioactive fallout here. And you're not going to get a lot of heavy metals like mercury, so it's a reasonable food option for protein and so on. But my wife is a very compassionate person, and I was fishing for a catfish, and I handed her the rod just for a minute to go check something, and one of these catfish bit, and she reeled it in onto the beach over there, and we were looking at it, and she was saying, well, let me get this straight. We're going to cut off his head, cut off his tail, and we're going to get one dinner out of this fish, and he's going to lose his entire life? I said, yeah, that's how it works. You know? And she says, besides, he's such a handsome young man. We should let him go to grow more. And so we unhooked him and let him go. So that made me wonder, she could even see the beauty in a catfish. Near the kitchen, you put your culinary herbs just a step outside the door because you want to run out for parsley or basil or rosemary. So this berm that you're looking at here is all our culinary herbs down near the food truck, closer to the kitchen. And then we're also growing some of our tea herbs, our herbs for herbal tea. This purplish plant is holy basil. This plant is considered sacred to Hindus. It is Radha incarnate. This is the goddess. And if you're a Hare Krishna, those are the beads that you wear around your neck come from this plant. Feel free to go ahead and pick a flower and have a smell. But yes, do it with respect, of course. Yes, this is holy basil or tulsi. So some of the other herbs that we're growing for our tea are two types of mint, peppermint and spearmint that I'm going to show you up in the field above. We also sometimes put in comfrey. You see this furry green leaf plant? Comfrey is good for multiple things. That's another permaculture idea. You find something that has different kinds of uses. The comfrey helps heal my shoulder, and it keeps the grass from infiltrating the bed.
Oh, I see.
Grass, yes. And it has medicinal value, so it's another permaculture idea. So this tree has never been fertilized. It's just at the bottom of the field and has done really well. It's kind of, you know, it's getting a little older. We were harvesting right here at hand level for many months. They grow quickly, they're kind of hollow. You just replant them every 6 months or so, rather than trying to, you know, while that young plant has a lot of virility. There's not that many olives in Hawaii. People don't even know for sure that olives are going to do very well in terms of making fruit here. However, the leaves are nature's highest antioxidant, almost one of the most potent antioxidants, blowing away blueberries and acai berries. And so it's a medicine. And we planted it with that sacred intention, and I would like to make a positive difference in the world. So the plan is, I have a friend, Hossamadin from Palestine, whose family has an ancient olive grove there. And I've met an Israeli olive farmer who also has olive trees. So we're going to harvest the olive leaves from Palestine and Israel and Hawaii and blend the extracts together in a message of synergy. And then our website is Ohana Herbs. Ohana being this extended family, maybe not necessarily blood ties, but social and love ties. So it's a message kind of product, and we'll have on the label a peace dove holding an olive branch, symbolic of peace. So that's my goal, to help out in the Middle East. I'm actually of Jewish descent, not been to Israel, in part because I'd like to see the Palestinians have their homeland first, but it may be a long wait, so I still may go to the promised land before too long. And almost all pregnant women's iron levels dip. If you eat unsulfured organic molasses, a tablespoon stirred into some milk or soy milk or whatever, or almond milk, it keeps your iron levels up through pregnancy without any of the problems of constipation that comes with iron pills. Noni, this is one of the canoe plants brought with the Polynesians from Tahiti that found these islands. Noni is super useful. The leaves, the fruit have medicinal value. I've actually put this on my injured shoulder too. It just kind of sucked out some of the pain. Once it ripens, it has this really funky blue cheese smell and taste. It's really hard to deal with. So they mask it with berries. Noni is a medicinal herb, but the leaf is known for anti-cancer properties. As are other tropical fruit leaves, which we have growing, I'll show you. Soursop, there's growing research that it can inhibit cancer cell growth. So the next tea after our soothing herbal tea blend that we have now will be a tropical fruit leaf antioxidant blend that will include olive leaf, noni leaf, soursop, and some papaya leaf, and sweetened with a little yacon. So stay tuned for controlled studies, and someone drank a lot of it. I believe it could help with cancer, so we'll see about that. That's why we call what we're doing veganic agriculture. It's plant-based, except we do use the waste products of animals, not killing the animals to produce the fertilizer.
Hey Mariah, can you?
Hey, nice to see you.
Yes, can you explain what we're having for dinner?
We are having the most delicious organic food. We're having brown rice, organic potato, garden vegetables. We are having pumpkin taro green curry, and we are having also all kinds of things, salads, yacon salad from the garden, and with a really nice salad dressing, with basil and seeds and other herbs from our garden. And we are also having papaya salad. We have very big papayas that we turn into this beautiful salad with tomatoes and lime. This is a really nice pumpkin curry over there. Yummy, I'm ready to have some. Nice to see you.
Are here to make a positive difference in this world, and we are blessed with God-given talents and curiosities and inclinations. And so ask yourself what your gifts are and find a really cool, fun way to apply them. That will be your contribution to the stew of life. So take a moment now to just think about what you love. Like I sculpt, I'm a sculptor. You can see our art gallery down below in the temple. Most of the sculptures are those of mine and my sons and my wife's pottery. It's natural. No one has to make me sculpt. I love to do it, and it comes through. I'm not the author of it. We are channels of the life force bubbling through us. So take a moment to honor the West. The color is the midnight blue or the black of the ocean depths. Thank you, good beings of the West. Aho, as we go to the north.